Hello everyone, it's Alana, your potato queen, here with another tutorial on posing, specifically geared towards plus size women. So last time I just did an intro, real basic, a few tips, nothing super in depth. But this time, I want to go into sexy posing. Sexy, not trashy. Although I can cover trashy posing, that's easy. Not easy, fun. But, so I'm going to start, like before, with face-specific posing, and then move on to body-specific posing. So yeah, I hope this is informative. Now, with sexy posing, there's always, remember, there's passive sexy, aggressive sexy, there's all sorts of sexy that you can do, so it's important to figure out what you want to do before you do it, what your character's like, and all of that. It just helps photo shoots go smoother and faster, and photographers really love you. Now, without further ado, in the last video I used hands a lot, and that's just because it's fun. I don't use hands as much in cosplay, though sometimes I do, because I get a little self-conscious about this. Especially when I have allergies, this tends to swell quite a lot. So sometimes, you know, a little cover. Oh, speaking of which, that's a great tip. You see how my jawline's not super strong, especially in photography? Just do a little... Look how much stronger my jaw became! Ha ha ha! Just cover up what's not there! I do have a jaw, it's just... hidden. Anyways. So, do you see that? Now, the difference between, like, me posing, like, hey, look, it's me! Oh, hey, yeah! Sexy posing usually is... a little different. The face, because before where I was, like, you know, tightening this muscle to the chin down, eyebrows up, you want to relax it a little bit like you don't care. And then, you know, just flick your eyes to something. Now, there's something not quite like the squint, but I'm going to get all close up in your business to show you. You don't want to squint like this. That's not sexy. The, hey, look at you. But what you do is you look, and then you tighten this eyelid a little. See, it's just really minute. It looks like I have a twitch. But that alone makes people look much more attractive. And you're like, ugh, that doesn't make sense, but seriously, check it. Okay, oh, not bad. I gotta do it now. So usually that just adds a real dramatic difference if you're going for serious sexy. So like, see the difference? This top lid did not come down at all. Just the bottom lid went up. And this lid is much better at it than my other lid, but that's usual. Most people have a dominant side of their face. But I hope you can see that. Now what I like to do, of course, playing with wig and hair is always great, because let's say you catch your light. Now, I normally don't look good like this because, you know, my neck just kind of blends into my shoulder. I look a little hunchback. But, so, extend the neck. Then I like to get my hair up in it. And you see my eyes not open all the way, because if you open your eyes all the way, it's like, hi, I just got out of the shower, how are you? You want to just let it relax. And you see my bottom lid go up a little. And then, relaxed eyebrow. You see the differences there? And then if you want to do without hands, because I'm addicted to hands, I just love hands. Those of you who follow me know that. But, so this is just straight on blank. Not very interesting, you know, nothing going on. So again, tighten the facial muscles. Put your chin in position. Raise one eyebrow. Squint that lower eye a little. Look at that. Such a difference. Now, a trick I like to do a lot with photographers, because it's creepy to just stare at them like this. And especially since, you know, if they're moving around, getting different angles, you know, going crazy, it can get awkward. So what I like to do is when they're about ready, I look away. And then I look to them. And that usually will look more natural than you just like staring and staring and staring. Alright? Alright, so those are some basic pointers. You know, keep the muscles tight, squint the lower lid, have fun with your eyebrows, but don't go super intense unless you're purposely playing like an angry character. In which case, still, usually if you want to go sexy, you don't want to be like ugly, like, ah! You want to loosen that up a little. See that difference? Ugly pretty. I'm sure you all heard of that before. But anyways, onto the body. Alright, so them. You want to be a sexy cosplay. Now, most of mine are going to revolve around ladiness. There are many different ways to be sexy. So, a lot of times when we shoot a photographer, I'll ask, oh, are you doing full length? Are you doing bust up? Doing waist up? Doing hip up? It's good to ask if you can't tell, because that could affect how you pose. Because you could be like this, just be laying up top and do whatever you fucking want on the bottom. So it's good always to know. If you don't know, just ask the photographer. They don't mind telling you. But now the big thing with sexiness, a lot of times in female cosplay, is creating curves and emphasizing assets. Doesn't always have to be that, but that's the general one. So right away, the easiest trick to do is, let's say you're doing just waist up, work an arm under the titties, make sure your fingers are nice and relaxed, bring this hand up, and so I usually like to have my fingers right here on my arm, but you could have them balled up, you could have them under your bicep. To me, it doesn't look really good, and it doesn't feel good to have my bicep clamp my fingers. So yeah, I just like to relax mine. You'll notice my makeup test there, but never mind about that, it's not important. But yeah, so if you're just doing waist up, this is a really good one. Makes the boobs look nice. Also makes your arm look smaller. Because while my biceps are kicking, my triceps are not so great. I got a lot of fat right here. So it makes me feel better about me. Because although there's nothing wrong with being flat, I like when I have big beefy arms. And I also like to crush watermelons between my thighs. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, now you'll notice, even though the photographer is only showing me from the waist up in this scenario, I still got my feet somewhat posed. And that's just because it lends out. If you can just stand normally and do this pose just as effectively, good for you. I can't. Now, let's say you want to do that same pose, but the photographer is shooting from the waist up. There's a couple things you can do. Now, a lot of times, get this table out of the way. A lot of times when I'm posing sexy, I turn my feet inwards more. So that's going to seem more feminine, more dovetail. Not always, but especially since also it'll allow them to see the side of your shoe. So if you have a really intricate shoe design you did, that can really help. Or if you just have true heels. But yeah, so you can do this pose where feet a little about shoulder width apart, maybe a little less, depending on how you feel, or wider if you have really high heels on. But what you do is you take your booty and you push it back a little. So this is actually what I'm looking like. Butts back a little. And then do the same pose, like that. So that's one option. What I like to do is plant a foot, get it all nice, and this is your rock. Put this foot forward, or whatever puts you down at one. Lift this hip, arm under, and normally I don't have to lift my boobs, but I'm wearing a sports bra, so they're moving around a bit, or they're not as locked down as they are usually. There we go. So as you can see, shoulders raised, the shoulders drop down. Now, I'm not raising the shoulder to my ear, because that's not pretty. Just raise it slightly to show the curve of the body. This butt's pointed that way, or you can switch it up and do that. So the really important thing is making sure you have all sorts of curves and dynamic shapes. And speaking of which, let's just talk about that thing I just did. Think of your hips as a focal point. Bring it around town. So a lot of times, like, people just be like, oh, titties, 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 look, look, look. That's not good enough. This is a focal point, this is a focal point, this is a focal point, and your feet are focal points. So think of it like a drawing. Every focal point you want to be interesting in comparison to the other focal points. And it's okay to take a bad picture, because experimenting, only about 10% of what you do is going to look good. But when you experiment more, you're bound to get the better poses. Because, like, let's face it, this is really basic. It's great. It's going to work. You're going to get some great photos. But it's basic. And, we're not basic bitches, right? So now that we've covered that, there's one tip I want to tell you, and that's rarely ever cross your arms normally like this. It usually doesn't look good. It usually looks forced, especially if any sort of cleavage is not good. Now, I'm not telling you not to cross your arms ever. I'm teaching you how to fake it. So you usually take an arm, put it under, take another arm, put it under, change it depending on what feels comfortable. But you'll notice instead of crossing them, I'm just resting my hand. And so you just rest your hand. Now, you can just stand straight on the camera like this, but that usually doesn't look really good. So, I like to put my feet a little closer together. Tilt pelvis. And then, again, if you're shy about that pooch, tilt it back, and then bring that hip. Now, some people say, don't hyperextend your knees for poses because it looks unnatural. I think in some situations it looks good, but that's more of a personal preference kind of thing. So experiment with what feels good for you and what's right for you. And for those of you who don't know what hyperextending means, it's like, let's say I'm posing like this. This is hyperextended, this isn't. So a lot of times, like if you're posing, let me think, this leg up, like, some people will hyperextend that, and some people like it straight. It's more, like I said, of an aesthetic preference. So you decide what you want and what feels comfortable. Remember, if you do like hyperextending your legs, do not do it for long periods of time, because you can pass out. And that's not good. Unless you're like, I guess, Sleeping Beauty, in which case, hey, more accurate to the character. Alright, so that was my basics of sexy cosplay posing. I hope this is helpful. Like, I'm kind of going real general with this because it's just the basics. But I hope everyone had fun. I hope you had a great week. And remember, please be safe. Alright, bye!
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to like, comment, or even subscribe. You know, if you're cool or something. Because this channel is totally only for cool kids. Who am I kidding? Just be safe out there, okay guys? Bye!